Hello, good people. Thank you for coming back. So we had earlier made a video on a timetable software, but the video had a problem on audio. So today we are going to make another video on the same device, on the same software called the aSC software. This is one of the best timetable software that we have across the world. So in today's video, I'm going to ensure that I'll take you through all the necessary steps on how to come up with a timetable that is of high quality. Remember that this particular software is automatic and it can help you generate timetables automatically. Kindly remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as we proceed. I will really appreciate. So to start with, here is our software, and I'll provide a link on where you can be able to download the software free of charge. So to start with, we are going to click on this button here, and then after clicking on that particular button, we are going to create a new file. So we'll give our file the name of the school. So in this case, I'm going to use the name Blue Ribbon Elite School. So that will be the name of our school, and then this will be our academic year. So the number of periods per day will remain to be 7. Maybe you can add them to have 9, and then we click yes to save that. So the number of days, I believe this one is okay. That is from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we don't have to rename the day. So the timetable, the weekend will remain as it is, that is Saturday and Sunday, and then we click next. So the software will save all those settings that we already keyed in. So after that, we shall now get to the second part of this particular timetable. So the second button that we're going to focus on is the specifications button. So this is where we are going to input all our settings, starting from where we have the school, the subject, classes, classroom, and the teachers. So maybe you can start here. This is the very first page that we had, where we named our school Blue Ribbon Elite School. The academic year was 2023, and everything else is okay. So the next button here, this is where we're going to input the subjects that are being conducted in a specific school. So maybe in mine, I'm going to add several. So you can see we start by clicking the new button to add a new subject. So I'm going to click there and add biology as my first subject, and then the short form will be bio. I believe that's okay. And then we can add another one. Maybe talk of chemistry, and then the short form or the abbreviation of the subject will be chem, and then I'll save that. I can add another one, mathematics. Will be BST, I believe that's good, and then our last one will be agriculture as a subject. So I'll name this one Agri. So that one is okay. So having named all subjects, so you just click the close button and our subjects will be saved. Once you get there back, you can be able to find them, and then we move on to the next part, that is the classes. So for the classes, we can add maybe just 4 classes. I'll start with form 1, and then I save that. I add another one, form 2. That will be good. I can add another one, form 3, and now the last one will be form 4. The last one will be form 4. So we are good to go. After doing that, the next thing I want to do is just saving or closing. Once you close by that given button, you've already saved anything. So the fourth button is the classroom. So if you have a same subject but under different classes, so I mean under different classrooms. So this is where you can add various classrooms that you want to have. So in this case, I'm not going to add anything here. We're just going to generate our timetable as it is, but it's still very simple. So the fifth button is where we are going to add the teachers that we have in the school. So in this case, I'm going to add around 11 teachers, just guessing their names. So the first teacher will be Mr. David. So we can work with Mr. David. Sorry for that. We have Mr. David, and then the short form of Mr. David will be just that, and then you can add the first name or that, but we are only interested with the first part. So Mr. David will be taking us in, so we're going to choose the subject, or maybe we can do this one later. So we add the second teacher, Mr. Ken, and then I want to save that. Mr. Ken, we add the next teacher, Miss Carol, and then we want to save that. So we get to the third teacher, Madam Nelly. So Madam Nelly, sorry for that, Madam Nelly. And then I want to save that. So the next teacher will be Mr. Kibet. I'll save that. And then our third teacher will be Mr. Mutuku. That's good. I'm going to add another one, Miss Florian or Flavian. Let's go with Flavian. So that's good. I'm going to add a total of 11 teachers. So far we have 7. So we still have several remaining. Mr. Maina will be our 8th teacher. And then I'm also going to add Miss Grace. We can do that. Yeah, I'm also going to add another one, Mr. or this time around Madam Miss Mweni. That's okay. So how many are they? Let's first count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one more, Mr. who? Mr. Ken. No, we already have Mr. Ken, so we can have Mr. Florian, and that will be okay. So having added the teachers, the school, and the subject, so maybe now we can start allocating different subjects to our teachers. So to start with, maybe we can allocate physics to Mr. David. So lessons. So we will click this new button, a new lesson button, and then we add physics to Mr. or maybe you can start with the first one, biology, and then class form 1. So lessons per week, maybe we can give it around 5 lessons. 5 lessons will be okay. And then Mr. David will be taking biology in the entire class for the form 1. So we can add the second one, the same subject, but now a different form, that is form 2. Number of lessons can still have 5, and then you click save. We add the third one. We add the third one, so the same subject, a different class or a different form, but now this time around we make it 4. We save that, and then we go for the other one. That is the same biology class, the same class form 1, no, form 4. And then the number of lessons we make it to be 4, and then we want to save that. So having done that, we're already done with the first teacher, so we click close. So you can see here that the number of the counts has increased from 0 to 18. Next is Mr. Ken, so we add lessons. So for the lessons part, we're going to give him the next subject, that is chemistry, and then we start with form 1. Number of lessons we can start with 4, and then we move on to the next subject or next lesson, that is chemistry, and then the next form is form 2, and then we have the number of lessons, maybe we can give him 4 also. We add another one, the same subject, that is chemistry, but the next form, that is form 3. Number of lessons we can still work with 4, and then we click save, and now we add the last one, that is chemistry, and then form 4 this time around, and then we work with 4 lessons per week. that's quite okay. So we do that for all the teachers. So I'm gonna add Miss Carol, the next subject. The next subject is mathematics. So we have form 1, we have 3 or 4. Then I also add the next subject, that is mathematics, and then I work with the next form is form 2, number of lessons, and work with 5 in a week. And then the same teacher, same subject, but a different form. This time around form 3, number of lessons, we can work with 5, and then we click save. Again, we open another lesson, so we add mathematics. The next class is form 4, number of lessons, we can work with 5, and then we save that. So once you're done with Madam Caro or Miss Caro, we close the button. So we move on to the Madam Nelly. Next is Madam Nelly. We add the lessons. So Madam Nelly will take us through English. So form 1, number of lessons, we can work with 4, and then the next form is form 2, but the same subject, form 2. And then we can work with 5 in that case, and then we save. Next is form 3, the same subject. Form 3, number of lessons, we work with how many? We work with 4. So that will be okay. And then we also add another one. The same subject, English, but now a different form. Form 4, number of lessons, we work with 4, and then we save that. So having done that, we can close Madam Nelly because we are already done with her. Next is Mr. Kibet. We are going to add a new lesson. So his lesson will be FIC. That is FIC form 1, number of lessons 4, and then we click save. Next is the same subject, but now a different form 2, number of lessons, we work with 4 again. And then the next one will be form 3, and then the number of lessons, we can work with 5, and then we click save. We move on to the next one. So this one we can work with how many? We can work with so we were in form 4, we can work with 5, and then we click save. So having done that, we close his button. Next is Mr. Mutuko. We add the lesson. So the new lesson in this case will be Kiswahili. So we give him form 1, then the number of lessons is 5. So we move on to the next one. Remember, we're going to do this one the way I'm doing it until we finish all the forms, so that we can move on to the next part. So the next we add another new lesson, the same Kiswahili, but now a different form, that is form 3, number of lessons, we can work with 5. Then we click save. Next is form 4, the same subject Kiswahili, but now a different form, form 4, and now we can work with 4 in that case, and then we close the button. Next is Miss Flavian. So Miss Flavian will take us in a different subject, that is geography, and then form 1, we give her 4 lessons. We click save. Next is the same teacher, the same subject, but a different class, this time around form 2, number of lessons 4, and then we click save. So we add another class, that is form 3, number of lessons, we can work with 5 in that case, and then we save. So the same geography class, not form 1 but form 4, and then we work with 4 lessons. So we are done with Miss Flavian, so we can close her page or her wizard. Next is Mr. Maina. So for the Mr. Maina case, we are going to allocate him a different subject. So in this case round, it is history. So history form 1, maybe 3 lessons in a week will work. And then we add a different class for the same subject. So in this case, we are talking of form 2 class, number of subjects, number of lessons in a week, we work with 4. And then we add another one. So in this case, we are going to work with the same history, a different class. In this time around case, form 3, number of lessons 4. We save that, and we add the last one, the same subject, history, and then the class will be form 4, number of lessons, we can work with 5. We save that, and then we close. that last is our Madam Grace, our Miss Grace. So the lesson that she'll be taking us through is CRE in Form 1. We're going to give her 3 lessons, and then we save. So again, we add another one. So in this case, we're going to work with English. So English, not English, I'm sorry. So it is the same subject. CRE form is Form 2, number of lessons is 5. So we save that, and then we add another one. The same subject, CRE, number, the form, in this case Form 3, number of lessons, we can work with 4, and then we save that. And the last one will be our Form 4 class, the same subject, number of lessons, we can work with 4, and then we save that. So having done that, we close our wizard, and then we move on to Miss Mweni. Miss Mweni, we are going to give her business studies. So Form 1, number of lessons in a week, 5, and then we save. We click next. So we add the same subject, but now a different form. Form 2, number of lessons. Number of lessons, we work with 4 lessons in a week, and then we add the next form. Sorry, this one was Form 1, so we have to make it Form 2, not Form 1. So we're going to edit. So we make it Form 2, and then we save. So we move on to the next is Form 3. Form 3, number of lessons, we can work with 4, and then we save that. So next will be Form 4, the same subject but a different class. Number of lessons, we can work with 5. That will be good. And then we close. And now the very last teacher is Mr. Florian. So we are going to work with the very last remaining subject, so which is agriculture. So in Form 1, we'll have 4 lessons in a week, and then we save that. And then in Form 2, from the same subject, Form 2, number of lessons, we work with 4 lessons again. And then second last is the same subject, but now a different class, that is Form 3, we work with 5 lessons, and then we save. And then the last one will be the same subject, class, Form 4, and the number of lessons, we work with 5 lessons, and then we save. So having done that, we have already saved. We have allocated different subjects to different teachers, so we can now close that given a wizard. So it's always good to save our work. So I'm going to name our file as Blue Ribbon, so that if anything happens, I'll still get to remain with my file. So let me save it as Blue Ribbon, and then click save. So my file is very secure. So having done that, we can now get to the timetables where we'll be generating our timetable. But before that, we can try to verify that our timetable is okay. If it has an issue, the issues will be indicated right here. But as you can see that our timetable has no problem. So we can go ahead and generate a timetable and see what we are going to have. Still, we have some issues. Class Form 2 has more lessons, 10 free positions in time off, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So we can work with it and see how we will be able to generate the timetable. So you can work with that given button, and then we test the timetable, and then we wait and see what we are going to have as our results. So as we wait for it to load, it takes actually less than 1 minute, and we should be able to have our outcome in few minutes time. But remember, because we have created this timetable in a hurry, we may have some collisions, or all the spaces may not be occupied, but it is very easy. So here is our timetable. You can see it. We have this timetable for the Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. Maybe we can see the whole timetable and the way it appears. Remember, these given files will be ready for printing. So all you need to do is to export the files and then get a printed document. So this is our timetable. The one that we're going to have. Remember, my software has not been activated, but the one that I'm going to provide you will be activated. So we have we have our timetable. So days from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday up to Friday. But again, you can see that our timetable has no breaks. So this is simply because we have not allocated time in our timetable, but there is still a way in which we can do that. So in our next video, we shall focus on time allocation and how we create breaks in this particular timetable. So you're going to get a timetable for all the classes, that is Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 and Form 4. So kindly remember to subscribe. Until next time, it's a goodbye from me. Thank you.